You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I am Amaya Norman. A Victoria man claimed to be homeless was found dead inside an apartment earlier this month. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting met with the family earlier today at a benefit in this honor. Trenton.
Amaya, thank you. The family of Jerry Ramos have several questions surrounding his death. He was found dead inside an apartment at the Crossroads apartment complex on North Azalea Street. Police found Ramos inside the apartment by himself and unresponsive. They had to break down the door to fulfill a wellness check called in by a neighbor who knew Ramos. The family says that many of his belongings were missing from the apartment at his death, prompting questions about the nature of his demise. Some of the belongings have been retrieved since. At the hospital, doctors were told that Ramos was homeless and had no family to notify of his death. The family says that not only were they present in his life, but he also had a home with them as well. Today, they hosted a barbecue benefit to help raise funds for Ramos's funeral costs.
He was not homeless. He did have a home, you know, and he had a family that loved him. And, you know, people make choices, and we were still there as a family for him as we could be. He was a really good person and we all loved him, you know, and we're hoping we find justice and find out exactly what happened to him.
Ramos was allegedly roommates with someone at the apartment he was found dead in, but the names of the roommate and the renter haven't been released. The family is waiting for an autopsy report to find a cause of death and find out if foul play was involved. Maya, back to you.
Thank you, Trenton. SpaceX Starship rocket, the most powerful ever built, completed its 5th test flight in dramatic fashion. The Super Heavy booster and spacecraft launched early Sunday from Boca Chica, Texas, standing taller than a 20-story building. After detaching from the booster, Starship flew through space and splashed down in the Indian Ocean after flying halfway around the world. No one was on board, but this flight is a crucial milestone for SpaceX's goals of developing a full reusable rocket system. Time to talk weather on this Sunday afternoon. Let's check in with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining to see what the rest of your week will look like. Trey?
Well, on the outside, dealing with hot temperatures and sunny skies. Beautiful day today, although it's on the hot side. Let's see if we get this going here. We can. Let's see. Come on, button work. There we go, 95 degrees currently. Ooh, it's very hot. Feel like temperature pretty much the same with lower humidity in place, 29% in the humidity here in Victoria. That'll be going up, and rain chances going up as well. And also some cooler temperatures. Yes, I said it. When will it be though? We'll find out later on in the full forecast to come. Amaya?
Thank you, Trey. At least 2 people are dead and 35 others were treated after a chemical released at an industrial plant in Deer Park. The leak of a hydrogen sulfide apparently occurred while workers were working on a valve of some sort. As a precaution, residents in the city were told to shelter in places, but the order was later lifted. City officials held a press conference last night to discuss the incident.
Some workers were working on a flange of some kind when there was a gas leak of H2S, which is hydrogen sulfide. We know at this point we believe at this point that there's 2 persons deceased on scene.
According to OSHA, hydrogen sulfide is one of the leading causes of workplace gas inhalation death in the United States. Hurricane Milton has left over millions of people in dark, forcing residents to adapt to life without power. As they cope with the aftermath, utility workers are tirelessly restoring electricity.
Hurricane Milton has left more than 1 million people in the dark.
Going about 48 hours now, about 8 p.m. will be 48 hours now. So it's been fun.
Paul Figueroa using every minute of sunlight to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, with our family, having the kids far away, we were able to just manage to just worry about the home.
His neighbors anxiously waiting for electricity.
Oh, I have batteries and a candle.
David Hatcher tells me he's in an assisted living facility with about a dozen other people, all of them waiting outside until the sun sets.
We've been coping, you know, like the heat up water for us to bathe with.
People across Tampa Bay counting down the minutes until the lights are back on. And around 1,500 of utility workers are stationed at Raymond James Stadium working around the clock to restore power back to the Bay Area.
By end of day Monday, we will have restored all of our customers up in Pasco County. By end of day Tuesday, we will have restored all of our customers in Polk County. And by end of day Thursday, we will have restored all of our customers in Hillsborough County.
Tico tells me by Tuesday, though, 75% of customers in Hillsborough County should be back online.
We're hoping to be the 75%. Worst case scenario, if we're not, that's okay. We know like I said, we're blessed. There's been a lot of people worse off. So, not having power is the least of our concerns right now, but it'd be nice to have it.
Now, here is our viewer poll for today. Do you believe climate change is the biggest threat to humanity? Yes or no? You can come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. It was a perfect delivery in an imperfect situation. That's how high school nurse in Old Town, Maine described a miracle on campus earlier this week. Here are the details.
School officials at Old Town High School witnessed what they're calling a miracle Tuesday afternoon. Tori Hildreth, the school's Jobs for Maine graduates instructor, was in her classroom counting down the hours until she would meet her second daughter. Tori, who is full term, started experiencing contractions, so she picked up the phone and called her mom. Little did she know that minutes later, she would be welcoming her second baby in the teacher's parking lot.
At 2:07, I called my mom. And by 2:18, the ambulance had been called because I was holding her in my arms in the parking lot. Went from teaching a class to having a baby in about 15 minutes.
The school's resource officer and school nurse were on hand to help, but baby Bella Javoy leaped into Nurse Jana Karen's arms before EMS arrived.
Her composure and her toughness and her focus, she is remarkable. She's one tough lady. Whenever she was all stabilized, she gets up and she's walking over to the stretcher and she lays herself down and she's like, "See you in 3 months."
Here's an added twist to baby Bella's arrival. Tori's father, Captain Mike Hildreth of the Old Town Fire Department, was filling in on shift that day and arrived at the scene in the fire truck.
He showed up and he started crying. My mom and I were both just in shock. Yeah, he's the first one to respond to a maternity call that it was his daughter. That is probably true. That's some small town stuff right there, I would say.
It was really a nice family reunion in a really unconventional way.
Baby Bella, who was born 2 weeks early, weighed 6 pounds, 4 ounces, and was 19 inches long. Both mom and baby are home and doing well. Many staff and students are still in disbelief.
They're popping their heads in my office. "You delivered a baby?" And I'm like, "I sure did."
3 Texas Supreme Court seats are up for election in November, and for the first time in years, Republican incumbents face strong Democratic oppositions with abortion rights at the forefront. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. Now stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5:30. Election countdown battleground sprint intensify as key political figures hit the trial.
Hot temperatures around the region currently, temperatures in mid to upper 90s from Victoria northward, some 80s along the immediate coast with a sea breeze down in Calhoun County. Hot temperatures to continue, yes, but they will be becoming a little bit more tolerable coming up later on this week, along with rain chances. We'll talk about that coming up.
There are less than 4 weeks left before Election Day, and the battleground sprint is about to kick into an overdrive. Here's a look at the big political names hitting the trail and the campaign roadmap ahead.
Every vote counts, but voters in 2024's key battleground states can expect a little more attention between now and November 5th.
Thank you, Pennsylvania.
It's good to be back in Michigan.
The candidates are becoming more frequent flyers to Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, zeroing in on the issues they feel will resonate most with each state's voters, like the economy and manufacturing in Michigan.
We will ensure that the next generation of breakthroughs, from advanced batteries to electric vehicles, are not only invented but built right here.
I intend for the triumph of the American auto industry to be among my greatest legacies. I want it to be a legacy.
And immigration in Arizona.
We ought to focus on our own people and put their interests first. That's what the American leadership exists for.
This issue should not divide us, it should unite us.
And getting help from high-profile allies like former President Barack Obama's first campaign stop for Vice President Kamala Harris in Pittsburgh Thursday.
She doesn't have concepts for a plan. She has an actual plan to make your life better.
On Wednesday, former President Donald Trump said no to another debate with Harris before Election Day. That means no more head-to-head events.
We don't have a tentpole event between now and the end, between now and the finish line.
And leaves candidates to put their ground games to the test.
President Biden returned to Florida for the second time in 2 weeks after the recent devastating storm. On Sunday, he met with first responders and local officials, thanking them for their efforts following Hurricane Milton and Helene. Biden praised their sacrifice, calling their work a testament to the resilience of West Florida people. He announced over $600 million to strengthen the state power grid and emphasized that more help is on the way. Biden also highlighted the importance of unity during challenging times and urged Americans to come together in the rebuilding process. The Hanson Water Tower is shining bright this evening as town officials illuminated it with floodlights to wash out a Trump 2024 projections. Presidents have mixed feelings about the display.
The town of Hanson Water Tower is shining bright this evening as town officials order floodlights beam onto it to wash out this Trump 2024 projection.
I just noticed the projection, and I took a picture of it and sent it to some people.
Officials say the projection is coming from a private residence, but say having it on town property, quote, misleads the public into believing that this activity is sanctioned by or condoned by the town. The projection started Friday night, and officials say if it continues, it could cost a lot of taxpayer dollars through attorney fees, overtime paid to the highway department, and the potential of having to find stronger lighting equipment.
I mean, there's a lot of other issues to be concerned with. Worrying about patrolling to make sure there's not a projection on the tank. I mean, that's foolish. It's not money well spent at all.
The town says they're prepared to find the person behind this $100 a day if it continues. Mike Hansen lives up the road and doesn't mind the projection.
I don't see why there should be an issue with it. It's not like it's a permanent thing. I mean, it's a projection of light.
But other neighbors we spoke to off camera say it sends the wrong message.
Halloween spending is expected to reach $11.6 billion in the U.S. this year. That's according to a National Retail Federation survey. Last year, a record-setting $12.2 billion was spent for Halloween. The primary drivers of Halloween spending are candy, decorations, and costumes. Consumers are expected to spend an average of about $103.63 per person. This year, many big box retailers are getting into the spooky season earlier than ever before. They start with selling Halloween merchandise as early as June. For more on today's news story, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrón will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Well, temperatures on the outside coming up by early morning hours on your Monday, be in the low 70s, maybe some 60s early tomorrow morning. It could be even cooler than that later on this week as the front moves through, along with some rain chance at some point. We've got you covered coming up. Good Sunday evening, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. And the temperatures will be a little cooler in the morning time, then hot by the afternoon again. Notice the winds from the north. That is a drying wind, so have that lower humidity in place, so it won't be too oppressive out there. Still be hot though, so be careful out there. And that drying wind is going to continue and be reinforced later on this week with some more dry air coming down, which may cool us down even a little bit more as we head toward the latter half of the week. More on that later on in the full 7-day outlook. On the outside of Texas, high pressure dominates the weather here. Hard pressed to find any clouds at all. Kind of a few floating around there south of Lubbock and maybe some near the coast. Outside of that, we're keeping the sunny skies in for the time being. Looks pretty nice and definitely on the warm side for the time being as well. And looking at the tropics, well, yes, still some watching area in the northwestern Caribbean Sea has some potential for development. It'd be not anything immediate happening there, but we're watching it, of course. It's still in the hurricane season mode, so we still have to watch what's going on out there in the Atlantic Basin. And here's another area we're watching. Way out here, off the in between Africa and the Lesser Antilles. This weak little area right here shows some organizational possibilities there as it heads toward the west. Could get better developed as it head toward Puerto Rico and the northern parts of the Leeward Islands coming on a little bit part of the week. Looks like it'll be heading up maybe something like this later on if it does get organized at all. So we'll keep watching it for you. And here's the front coming on down. Well, currently stalled to the north. We're waiting for a push from the north to get this going into our region. It'll happen as we get toward Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, as you see right here. And humidity ahead of it, trying to build up a little bit, with maybe just enough for a few rain showers coming up by the latter half of the week as well. Front moves through on your Tuesday into your Wednesday, and giving us more drier air coming down from the north, and causing those temperatures to be a little bit cooler coming up. I think we can see 80s for highs coming up toward the end of the week, with some lows in the 50s around here. Thumbs up for that. Future clouds and radar, keeping the sunny skies in for the rest of the day, and they clear in the overnight tonight with cooler temperatures in the morning time, still hot by the afternoon because of that abundant sunshine for us. Quail. How you looking tomorrow? Looking pretty nice, sunny skies with highs in the mid-90s or so by 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So be careful out there. Not anything too oppressive out there with the low humidity. No triple-digit heat index values expected. It's still in the mid-90s though. Port Lavaca, sunny skies, looking pretty nice. Highs in the 90s, of course, by the afternoon time. And then also in Victoria, sunny skies, looking great for your Monday with highs in the 90s with southerly winds trying to take hold coming up toward the end of the week, which decrease the humidity levels a little bit. Front moving through earlier in the day on a Wednesday, notice the temperatures going from the mid-90s to the 80s, low 80s at that, coming up on Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday. And then some rain chances coming in by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as the return flow of moisture exits to the east as the high pressure exits to the east, that is. We'll take a little rainfall by then, but it'll look like 30% chances will do. But we'll take anything we can get. Notice the highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s, even some 50s coming up for your Thursday morning. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code. You see right there, they'll take you to a web page where you can download our app, News, Weather, and Sports, at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge to be connected with us. We've got Ray with sports.
Thank you, Trey. The Houston Texans and Dallas Cowboys in action. Coming up in sports, find out how they did and more. How about some sports entertainment for some Victorians? Happening right now at Rustic Ranch is live pro wrestling. Experience some tag team pro wrestling, all fun for the family. Here's a word from local promoter Carlos Guerrera about the event.
The main event will be a four-way match for the Lucha Pro Heavyweight Championship. Four contenders, only one winner. It's a collaboration of promotions from Laredo to San Antonio, from all over, Dallas, Fort Worth. All combining efforts will be right here today.
All right, make sure you tune in at 10 o'clock. I'll have a fallout from that whole show. And currently third in their district and looking to avenge their loss against the Industrial Cobras last week, the Edna Cowgirls was in action shortly before the Cowboys took the field. Here's an in-depth look into the game. The Edna Cowgirls hosted Hallettsville yesterday. The Cowgirls had a great showing in yesterday's game. Shanti Guerrera led the team with kills with 16, and she also led the team in aces with 3. An all-around great performance that she was proud of.
Feeling really good. We knew we had to beat Hallettsville because they're fighting for 4th place right now, I believe. Every time we're behind the service line, the goal is an ace, every time.
Kobe Davis, another Edna Cowgirl who also had a great performance leading the team in digs with 14, and she was just one shy of Guerrera with 2 aces. Her play in yesterday's game was another impressive one.
Really good. It was way better than last year. I feel like we improved a lot when we started talking more. She has told me to not be scared on the court like how I was last year. Last year I was timid and I was afraid to attack the ball, and now I'm more confident because she has been working with me with my arm swing.
The Edna Cowgirls sweep the Hallettsville Brahmas, making their record 19-17 and still in top 3 of their district. All righty, and in some NFL talk, the Houston Texans continue to be one of the big standouts in the AFC South, taking on the New England Patriots. The Texans on a 2nd and goal, which Stroud motions right for a pass to Tank Dell for a 2-yard touchdown from Stroud. This is the first touchdown of the game. Patriots unable to return the favor, so the Texans get dangerous and doing just what they do once again in Patriots territory again. But it's a 1st and goal, and Stroud does a quick pass to Joe Mixon for him to run it for another Texas touchdown. Mixon led the game in rushing yards with 102 yards, and Stroud throwing for 192 yards. The Texans seem to have a great offense in the NFL, beating the Patriots' final score, 41-21. Ending things with some Dallas Cowboys as they are in action right now hosting the Detroit Lions, and it doesn't seem to be a good time out there in Jerry's world. They are coming off they're trying to build their season up. They had a close game against the Steelers last week, walking away with the victory 20-17, but right now they're just struggling to put a touchdown on the board. As you see, the current score sees the Detroit Lions up 37-9. Best luck for the Cowboys out there. Amaya?
Thank you so much, Ray. Stay with us. Coming up, last chance for sun. Airfare to stunning beaches drop. We want to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon, Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. If you're not ready for the cooler months and want one last beach trip, you're in luck. Airfares to some stunning beach destinations are now cheaper, according to Skyscanner's recent travel trends report. The Mediterranean resort city of Nice saw a 27% drop in fares in the first half of the year compared to last year. Closer to the U.S., airfares to Castries, St. Lucia, and Bridgetown, Bear Bay Downs dropped by 25% and 24%, respectively. Interestingly, Fargo, North Dakota, made the top 5 U.S. cities with a 24% fare decrease. Through it is not a beach destination. Wow. So y'all guys like to go travel somewhere nice before the winter?
Of course I do, yes. That sounds like a good idea with some lower airfares. You might have to take advantage of that.
Yes, I might need to take advantage of it too.
And speaking of hot temperatures, you can stay around here and go to the beach. It's still going to be hot coming up the first half of the week. And some rain chances toward the end of the week, we'll take that. With high temperatures, 90s, look at the 80s. Check that out. Coming up on Wednesday into the rest of the week, lows in the 60s, even the 50s coming up for Thursday. So trying to get a little bit of fall feel in here. But the first couple of days on the hot side.
On the hot side. Now, if I'm a type of person, I love the summer. Do you like winter or summer?
You know, living in Victoria these last couple of months, it's October and I'm not used to it being 90 degrees in October.
Yeah,
exactly. In Oklahoma.
And Mississippi too is different.
Yeah.
But, well, if you're ready to travel, take those chances. So thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Have a great week, everybody.